So the question here is about the sense of self. What is the self which we are speaking of? What is our sense of self, I, which gets affected by various situations, feels happy or sad? Is it true that unlike this usual sense of I, there's a core I that's not affected or disturbed by situations? If yes, what would be the core I be? So, when we ask anybody, when somebody wants to introduce themselves, they'll introduce themselves by I'm so and so, I work here, I'm a professional, I'm a father. Like that, they'll give. This is actually a biodata. And many people believe that they are their biodata. Their self-identity is their biodata. Without understanding that, the biodata, everything we written in biodata will expire. I am engineer will expire. If you are working in some industry today, your expiry time is 10 years. If you are able to survive for 20 years, as an old man, I have to congratulate you. You expire very quickly. A film heroine will expire within 5 years. A hero may expire at the age of 40. So all your biodata has an expiry time comes with you. Okay, now I am a man. So a man also becomes an old man, then a dead man also. Right? I am beautiful. Wait till another 5 years. Okay. I'm handsome. I'm powerful. Wait 3-4 years. All your biodata changes. Your biodata is dynamic. It's not static. So we think that biodata is the self. Biodata is me. Biodata is not me. Biodata is what I have. What I have is not me. For example, I have a book. If I have a book, I'm not the book. So we say our language tells what is reality. We say, this is my book. Then my book means I have book. So I am different from book. I have biodata. That means I am not the biodata. So I'll tell you, cut off everything in biodata. Now tell me about yourself. Who are you? What can you tell about yourself if your biodata is not you? Right? I am a man, if you say. After some time, the man becomes old man and dead man. Even that is changing. I am a father. Yes, you are a father. This father is a role you are playing. You have a child. I have a child. So that means what I have is I am not. The father is a role played with the child. So we confuse role, our biodata with the self. We confuse role with the self. If I am an engineer playing a role of engineer, I can't be engineer. I'm playing a role. If you look at everything in our life is a role. But role becomes our identity. It's a mistaken identity. Because roles keeps on changing. Everything in life changes. Is there something unchanging in life? That unchanging is called I principle. I was born 50 years back. I grew up. I got married. I'm old now. So in this, all these things, you're speaking of a word called I, which is not changing. When you are born, the baby body was 1 feet. Now you are 6 feet. After some time, you shrink and become old man. So the body has changed, but I has not changed. All your circumstances have changed, but the reference to I has not changed. I grew up, I got married, I got divorced. I has not changed. Something has got changed. So there is an unchanging reference in our life that can't be called I or the self. So by nature, what is unchanging is not affected by changes. If it's affected by changes, then it's not unchanging. So I became I was born, I grew up. The I has not changed. If you grow up, I has changed, then you can't. It is it is not. It doesn't make sense. Then I is unchanged. But we use left, right, and center. The I, everything you do, everything you experience, I we use. So in all our experiences, in all aspects of our life, we have a I principle. What is the I principle? We don't know, but there is I principle, which is unchanging. And deep inside, we know that it's unchanging. That's why we are able to confidently use. When I speak of I was born, I grew up, I know I am the same I. If I was changing I would not have used the word I. But there is a confusion. There is an unchanging I, and there is a changing aspect of I. I think I am a body. So when body becomes old, I say I am old. When there is pain in the body, you'll say I am in pain. We associate unchanging I with the changing body. When the mind is happy, we say I am happy. When the mind is unhappy, we say I am unhappy. I is unchanging, but that you associate changing. These are polar opposites. Changing and unchanging are getting mixed up. So now the questioner is asking, what is that feels happy or unhappy? Obviously, unchanging can never feel happy or unhappy. By nature, it's defined as unchanging. And who has defined? You only has defined. You are defining. I grew up, I became old, I divorced, I got married. I has not changed. The reference I has not changed. Who has saying, who is changing, unchanging? You are only saying. Because deep inside, you know it's unchanging. Then why are you unhappy if it's unchanging? Because it's changing. I'm confusing myself that unchanging I with the body, mind, and intellect. The moment you're confusing unchanging I with the body, all problems of the body becomes your problem. That causes suffering. By confusing mind with the unchanging I, mind's problem become your problems. By confusing intellect with the unchanging I, knowledge and ignorance become your problem. In reality, the unchanging I is not at all affected by this. You can visualize that unchanging I as an axle of a wheel. The axle is there, the wheel can rotate, but nothing can happen to axle. Without axle, wheel cannot rotate. Axle is required for wheel to rotate, but wheel rotation will not affect the axle. Similarly, there's unchanging I, it is like axle in our life. Every circumstance of our life is changing. The family, the job, the country, the place, the environment, the body, mind, intellect, everything changes. There's unchanging principle in our life. It's like axle in the wheel. So now who is that I? Who am I? Am I that unchanging I or changing body and mind? If you are changing body and mind, there's no problem at all. Because yesterday's body is gone. Today's body is new. Who is having problem? Nobody has a problem. if your mind, changing mind is you, there's no problem at all. Yesterday their mind was unhappy, this mind is happy, tomorrow it is unhappy. Who has a problem? The problem is there for somebody who is always there. Somebody comes and goes, he has no problem. The body has when you are born, the body is 1 feet. Today it's 6 feet. So you are born in the year 1970. So you should, body is changing, no? You should call 1970 body, 1980 body, different bodies. And changing body, if you are, nothing to worry about. The old body is dead, new body is there. If it's changing mind, that's all no problem. Okay, if you're unchanging, there's no problem. Unchanging is no problem, changing is no problem. Then who has a problem? The problem is coming because of mixing of these two, unchanging and changing. Now, who says unchanging? You are saying, I was only born, I only got married. If the I has changed, then who has married, who has got born? So you are saying, I have an I which is not changing. Then also you are crying for an I which is changing also. So the changing thing you need not worry. Unchanging thing you don't have to worry. When you mix up these two, then you have to worry. The worry is coming with mixing up, changing and unchanging. Who is mixing up? The mind is mixing up. Okay, it's like mixing up is called superimposition. I sit in a train. Suddenly I feel my train is moving. My train is not moving. Next train is moving. So next train movement appears to be moving my train. Similarly, unchanging I is not changing. But body, mind, and intellect is changing. It is getting superimposed on the unchanging I. So I seems to be changing, even though it's not changing. So deep inside, I know I doesn't change. Also, I know I is changing simultaneously. The unchanging I, changing hurts me. It's not my nature, but still it appears to be changing. So the confusion is hurting. Superimposition happened. Body, mind, intellect is superimposed on the unchanging. So you can give an example. A screen is there, movie is there. On the movie, there's a fire burning. The screen appears to be burning. Nothing has happened to screen. The movie is superimposed on screen. Similarly, on the unchanging I, the body, mind, intellect, and changing circumstances are superimposed. It appears to be changing. So appears to be changing is the cause of problem. Unchanging is not a problem. Changing is not a problem. Appearance is the problem. It's like I see a tree and I'm afraid that ghost is there. So the ghost is causing the problem. Tree is not the problem. And where the ghost came from? It came from my mind. The mind is the problem. So here also, the mixing up of changing and unchanging, mind is causing the problem. So now the question is, first question is answered. Say that who is having problem? The one, a confusion is having the problem. Really nobody has a problem. Body has no problem, mind has no problem, Atma, self, your self, real self is no problem. The confusion is creating the problem. Tree is not a problem. Seeing a ghost on the tree is a problem. Confusion is that's the problem. So the confusion in our life, not understanding who really I am, and confusing changing I with the changing body, mind, intellect with the I is a problem. There's really no problem in life. If you say I am the body, accept it now, then you have no problem. Yesterday's body has died, new body is there today. What is the problem? So changing has no problem, unchanging is no problem, confusion is the problem. And how confusion can get out? Only by clarity, nothing else. So you see a ghost on the tree, you bring a magician or what you call it, mantravadi, what you call ghostbuster. So he does something, and can he chase away ghost? Because ghost doesn't exist there. No matter what you do, ghost cannot be removed, right? Ultimately, ghost can be removed only by understanding, proper understanding tree. This is a tree. Similarly, only understanding what is unchanging I, what is changing body and mind, what is the difference between two, what clarity only you can become free from this confusion. Confusion is the problem. Really, there's no problem in life. You're absolutely okay. The real I has no problem because it's unchanging. Body mind has no problem because it's changing. So confusion has to be got rid of. Now the question is asking, is there really unchanging principle? All right, is there unchanging core? You have to tell me, the one who is asking the question, you have to tell me, if you are changing, your yesterday's question is not valid today because you are already changed. Deep inside, you know you are unchanging. That's why you are asking the question. You have unchanging core. That's why you are asking the question. You are the core. So the very fact that you are asking this question means you are not clear. The core is asking the question. If you are changing all the time, then why will you ask the question? Because yesterday's question is not valid today. You are asking the question, the reference is same. One who is asking the question is not changing. That's why you are able to ask the question. So I am not saying you have a unchanging core. You are saying you have a unchanging core by your statement. Can you find that? Of course you can find it because you know it yourself. That's why you are asking the question. Right? So all of our words, when you use the word, I am happy, I am unhappy, I am going here, I am going there. What is common to all of this is called I am. We make a statement, I am first, and then we'll say something else. When I say I am going, the body is going, I associate I am with that. So I am part is not changing, body is changing. Because I am is common in all my statements. So I am is not changing, body is changing. What is this I am means? I means consciousness, am means existence. So the I am also in deep sleep, it disappears. But do you exist in deep sleep? Do you exist in waking state? Do you exist in dream state? No, I don't exist in deep sleep. Then all the no problem at all, because there's no questioner at all. The questioner disappear in deep sleep. Today, then somebody else has come. Today's answer will not be valid tomorrow, because deep sleep you disappear. So you don't disappear in deep sleep. You exist in deep sleep. But I am appears and disappears. So I am is also not constant. What is that I am pointing to? It is pointing to real I. And what is this real I? Let us find out. So when you are born, how many children were born to your mother? Only one baby? How can it be? Your father and mother gave one cell each to the baby. Just one cell. Their contribution is 1 paisa in 1 million rupees. Like one cell they are given. Now you have billion cells in your body. They just gave one cell. So your biological parents gave one cell each. But one cell became two, two became four, four became a baby with eyes here, ears here. Who did that? Your father and mother, biological mother, father and mother did it. Somebody must have done it now. Who is that? Nature, Prakriti. The nature we call as Prakriti, divine mother, divine intelligence. Nature has intelligence, divine intelligence. That's what we call divine mother. So the nature knows exactly where to fix the eyes based on what genetic blueprint. Your father and mother will not able to read a genetic XYZ chromosome also. But nature reads how to chromosomes also. Fix the eyes here, not fix ears. So that means supreme intelligence is working through your body. Right? So you have biological child, this one child, which is given to birth to body. Okay. So then there is a supreme natural intelligence that I call divine mother. So compared to biological child, biological parents who give only one cell each, divine mother is much closer to you because she has taken care of your whole body. And your whole body is functioning. Your heart is beating, kidney is functioning, liver is functioning, eyes are operating. Tell me how your eyes are operating? I don't know. How your heart is operating? One heartbeat may miss. No. Everything is working with supreme intelligence. That supreme intelligence is called divine mother or Prakriti, nature. Nothing to do with the biological mother. Biological mother just contribute one cell. So now who is your mother really? One who gave one cell or one who made billion cells and fixed your eyes and ears and nose? One who is running your heartbeat and kidney? The divine mother. So you are a divine child also in that sense. Then who gave you consciousness? Father and mother give you body, physical structure. The consciousness doesn't come from body. The consciousness appears there. That consciousness appears from the higher consciousness. We call it Father or God, whatever we call. Shiva, we call. So consciousness is divine. The body structure is made by divine. So who's your father and mother? In biodata I write name of the biological parents. And without forgetting that they just contribute one cell each. So really, you are taken care by nature, existence. The existence of your father and mother. So that I call it divine child. So then comes in 2-3 months, you start interacting with society. Then societal child comes into picture. Okay. So now you see the biological child from biological parents. How many parents it has? Father and mother. Divine child, how many parents it has? Divine father and divine mother, 2. Whereas the third child, society child, comes from a society, thousands bastard. So you have no father and mother, or all fathers and mothers are coming there. So your mind is a society child. So your biological child, body wise, your consciousness is divine child, and physical and mental mind wise, your society child. So out of these 3 children, who are you really? All your problems are society child problems. You have nothing to do with your problems. Right? The biological child has a little bit problem. It gets hungry, it has a pain, it has to do pissing. That's all. Some biological needs, little bit problem, not big problems. Divine child has no problem at all. Consciousness has no problem. It's blissful. Society child has no solutions at all. Enlightenment, whose problem you are solving? Society child problem you are solving. You're not solving divine child problem. Because consciousness, it's a witness, no problem. Biological child is anyway, it's a little bit problems are there, not major problems. Society child has never any problems. All your enlightenment soul problems are searching for society child problem. And you are not that child at all. None of your problems. It's all programmed into your head. So that's why as you grow up, you become like this. Burden. Okay. So who are you out of these three children? Divine child, human child, or society child? Society child, can it survive without biological child? No, it's dependent. Biological child without survive, can it do consciousness? Consciousness is the primary. So you are divine child primary. Divine child has no problem. As divine child, you are blissful in the young age, and society doesn't like their bliss. So it'll come and pump in knowledge into you. Your knowledge is becoming a burden. That's why it's sitting in your head. Right? It has given you identity. It has told you how to behave and how to get enlightened, how to do believe in God, how not to believe in God, how to fight for your rights. Everything is programmed. You are a program. You are nobody. You are a biological program. Real you has no problem. Whose problem you are trying to solve? All thoughts are not your thoughts. It's a society thoughts. All beliefs are not your beliefs. It's a society beliefs. You are, as a divine child, you are just plain, simple, blissful. As a biological child, also blissful. Hunger is okay. There's a biological pain. That's all. Nature uses pain, but nature doesn't use suffering. All suffering is because of society child. So who are you? Really? That divine child is unchanging eye. The biological child is changing body. The society child is changing mind. So divine child has divine father, divine mother, blissful. Biological child will give a credit to biological father and mother. It's also blissful. Once it gets hungry, some pain, suffering. Society child has never ending problems. And finally, big problems, I'll get enlightenment also. Society tells you, you're suffering, you get enlightenment also. And for enlightenment, you have to go to Himalayas. That's another big problem. You're trying to solve not your problems. That's what the whole problem is. Huh? So, who am I? Is a big question. Society child, divine child, or biological child? Who are you? Without consciousness, you cannot, you're no nothing. So, consciousness is what you are. You are called a human being. It's a compound word. Human and being. Human is a body, being is a consciousness. So, who are you? Are you human or a being? If you are human being, if you are human, then when you're dead, body will be lying on the table. But they say he has passed away. That means somebody who was there inside has gone. Being has gone. Then who are you? Are you the body? If your body, the dead body will be garlanded and given food. You can't because consciousness is not there. So you're really consciousness. The consciousness is real you. The body is a temporary abode, rented place. This society program is a program. So who am I? Your head is full of identities. And none of the identities yours. Real identity is the divine child, blissful. These identities are programmed into your head. Really, you are the divine child, blissful. And that blissful divine child you call as I. It's unchanging. Biological child is changing. Society child is changing. That divine child, you are putting false impression, false ideas. Body, mind, intellect, and society concept you are superimposing. And because it's false, you are suffering. Falsehood makes, because of falsehood, you are suffering. Reality doesn't suffer. So who am I? I look at myself from society point of view because I'm only programmed to look at myself from society point of view. What is your original face? Your original face is divine child, innocent, pure, and blissful. Can you go back to that? Now you are completely spoiled by the society. How you can go back? That's what is called spiritual journey. It's not gaining something. It is recognizing divine child in you. Does that answer your question? Anybody has a question on Zoom? Lalita? So, anybody have any questions? Otherwise, I can go to next question. This is a big question. Purpose of life. Okay.